Hey, I am Jennifer J, the Premier VA, your marketing systems provider. Today, we are going to talk about how to connect your lead magnet to your page and how to deliver the lead magnet and set up your workflow. So, there's really only 3 steps to doing this. The first step is to create the page, of course. So for the sake of time in this video, I already have a page created for you. Number 2 would be to create a form. So the form is what they're going to opt into for to receive your lead magnet, and that's also going to trigger the workflow to start. And then number 3 is to create the workflow. All right, so let's hop into it. So what we're going to do is we are going to create our page. So just create your page. If you do not have a page created, stop this video and go create your page and come back. Make sure that your page has a button or a placeholder for the form that we're going to create. So I am showing you my page currently. And on my page is a button that says, give me more leads now. Okay. And so the goal of this is to click this button for them to have a pop-up to be able to create the form. So let's hop over and create the form first. So we're going to go into our system and we're going to go into sites. And remember, everything is on the left-hand side. Everything is on the left-hand side of the screen. So when I'm telling you to go to sites, that's on the left-hand side menu. You'll click on sites, and at the top of the bar, you should see sites and the different elements that you can click on. So we're going to use a form for this. So hover over form and click on builder. And that's going to bring up the form builder. And so what we're going to do now is in the top right hand corner, we're going to click on create new form. And so for this form, we're just going to put the simple fields. So whatever fields you want to put on your form, you can drag and drop them from the right hand side to be able to put those on the form. Okay, so click on first name, last name, phone. And if you feel like you only want just the email field here, or you only want the first name and the email, you can do that as well. I highly recommend you make the name field, at least the first name, to be required so that you can retarget them in your emails. Okay, now we want to name the form. So in order to name the form, we're going to click on options, which is the third option at the top in the top right hand corner. So click on options, and the very first thing where it says form name, that is the form name that you see here where it says form 12. So we're just going to give our form a name. I highly recommend that your naming convention is based on what you're doing. So if you're setting up a lead magnet, whatever the name of that lead magnet is, you need to name your form that and say, let's just say I was doing 3 loopholes. 3 loopholes opt-in form. And that's exactly what I'm going to name this. 3 loopholes opt-in form. Okay. And one other thing that I do is to customize my forms. By default, they have this dotted border. So I usually take that off by going to styles, and where it says border 1%, I take that off. Also, if I'm putting this on my page directly, I'll turn on inline forms so that it looks a little bit like this. Okay. And so then now I'm going to click on save form. So once you save your form and you're okay with everything, I'm gonna hop back over to my page. So from here, you're going to just click on funnels. We're still in sites. You don't have to leave sites. So you're going to click on funnels and then you're going to go into the funnel. So mine was lead magnet funnel. I'm going to open that funnel and I was working with the second page opt-in. So from here, I'm going to click on edit page so it will open my page back up. Now you have two options from here. You can create a pop-up or you can create a totally new page. For the sake of time, let's just create a pop-up. So you're going to click on pop-up. When pop-up opens, we're going to click on add row. And from there, we're only going to add one column. So when you click on add row, the box on the right will pop up. We're going to drag that in, and then we're going to click on add element. So when we click on add element, it's going to again open up our options on the right hand side. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to form. So once we find form, did I pass it? Yep. Flying too fast. Okay, once we find the form, we're going to click on form. What that's going to do is bring up the form selector. If it says, just like mine did, you don't have any forms yet, just wait. Wait for it. Wait for it. It will pop up this form picker box. Okay, so now we're going to select our form. Here's my form right here. 3 loopholes opt-in form. That's another reason why you want to name it specifically for what you're doing, because once you start doing this and you have a lot of forms, it's going to be hard for you to figure out, oh my goodness, what form is it? So I was able to just go to that. Now, of course, we don't want this to look like this. So I'm going to just add an element. So in order to add an element, you just highlight the current element, meaning put your cursor inside of the element and this box will pop up. Click on plus, and then I'm just going to put a headline here. Now, of course, um, you can do whatever you want to style this box. I'm not going to talk about styling in this video. Okay, so um, super simple. Grab your lead magnet here. And then again, you can edit this box. You can change the background. You can do all the things you want to do to this box. So I want them to grab their lead magnet here and put their information in here. One thing I did fail to do on the form is you can't really fix this button that much right now, but it can look better than this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to save this page and I'm going to go back over to my form. And what I'm going to do is to change, number one, add a button to my form. And then number two, I'm going to make that scale across the entire bottom of the page. So we're going to go over to forms, click on builder, and then I'm going to open my form. I'm going to click on edit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag a button here. I'm going to click on that button so it can open up the oh crap. I do this all the time. If you watch my videos, you know I do. Okay, I'm going to click on the button so it can open up the settings element on the right hand side. And now I'm going to type in what I want this button to say. So all right, so get more leads now is the button. You can change the color of the button here if you wanted to. So if you know your HTML code, you can do that here, or you can click on this editor and drag and drop and change the color here. if you wanted to. So if I wanted to make my button this purple, I would make it that purple, and then I would just click out of there. All right, so now the only other thing you could do to this button is to round the corners and make it full width. You cannot change the text of the button. Right now, this is all you got. Okay, this is all you get. That's all it is. All right, so now I'm gonna click Save Form, and I'm gonna hop back over to my funnel. So now that will update automatically in the funnel. So what we need to do in the on the funnel level is, once we go back into our page, what we need to do is tell this button what to do when someone clicks it. So we have our pop-up already, um, right here, right? See how that changed automatically? We already have our pop-up. So what we want to do is tell the buttons what to do with the pop-up. Okay. And you also can configure how you want your pop-up to do. Like if you want it to open up when people try to leave the page, you can turn this on to open it up when people leave the page. You can also change the width. If you want this pop-up to be like a full page like that, you can do that. If you want it small, you can make it to be this size. So you can change that and toggle on any of these. Now, don't toggle on disable because that's going to disable it. But you can toggle on this if you want it to show when someone tries to leave. And if you want them to be able to close this pop-up by clicking on the outside, just clicking, and then it closes, you will have to toggle this on. Otherwise, they have to fill this out and hit submit, and then the pop-up will go away. Okay, so I'm going to X out of here. Now I'm going to tell the button where to go. So we're just going to click in the button. When we click in the button, the settings will open up on the left-hand side. Scroll all the way to the bottom to where it says button actions, and then click on open pop-up. Super simple. Nothing else you need to do. Go find what other buttons you have on there and do the same thing. Click on save. So now the last thing we want to do is to configure our workflow to deliver the lead magnet and to also start sending your nurture series. So in order to do that, we're going to go into automation. So exit out of your page and you're going to go to automations, which is going to be on the left hand navigation side so that you can start your workflow. That's where the workflows are. So we're going to click on automation and it's going to bring up our workflows. I highly also recommend that you put these things in folders. So create a new folder for your lead magnet, and I'm going to name it my lead magnet name. 3 loopholes workflows is what I'm going to name it. Um, I didn't mean to do that all caps, but it is what it is. Okay. 3 loopholes workflows. All right, so now we're going to open that folder once we create it, and then we're going to click on create workflow in the top right hand corner. So from this workflow, we're going to click on start from scratch and then click back in the top right hand corner to tell it to create the new workflow. So now we're going to name this workflow. So I'm going to name it, what am I naming it? The name of the lead magnet, 3 loopholes. And I'm gonna say confirmation. You could, if I could spell it, you could say delivery, you could say fulfillment, whatever. Just make sure that it makes sense. Okay. You could say 3 new loopholes, delivery and nurture. It doesn't matter. Now, once you've named it, we're going to click into add new workflow trigger. This is how we're going to connect it to that form. So what we're going to say is after this form is completed, bring them into this workflow. So what we're going to do is go down to form submitted. When we have form submitted, what are we going to do? We're going to name this trigger. So we're going to name it 3 loopholes opt-in, because that's the name of that form. Opt-in form submitted. And now what we're going to do is add a filter. And when we add a filter, we're telling it what form that we're going to choose. So in filters, click on select. It's going to bring up this box. Click on form is, and then we're going to select the form name from the drop down. 3 loopholes opt-in form. And we're going to click on save trigger. Make sure you click save after every operation. Now, the next thing we want to do is to add a tag, and this is just based on your strategy. So, what I would tag this person is 3 loopholes. Oh, I already did it. Downloaded 3 loopholes, right? Again, naming conventions are very important because as you start moving through these systems and you start generating a lot of things, you're going to be like, what? What? That doesn't make sense. So I would name this downloaded 3 loopholes, downloaded, whatever you want to put, 3 loopholes, opting in, whatever. Just make sure your naming convention makes sense. So I'm going to tell this what it is. Downloaded 3 loopholes. Okay. And then I'm going to click on save. The next thing I'm going to do is send an email. So I'm going to click on the plus sign and I'm going to select email. So now this is where you have your email to deliver your lead magnet. And you would add your lead magnet in the email. I'm going to just say delivery email here. Now, this is where you would make sure that you use a trigger link or a custom value. Once you have your lead magnet, you can put it in custom values, and then that way, all you have to do is just add it here. So see how I have, if I was to say I have some text in here and I say download here, what I would do is in my custom values, highlight download here, and then I can click on this link. It's going to open up the link window. So now what I would do is choose from the link list my lead magnet. Now and then I'm going to hit save. It's embedded that lead magnet in here, and this saves you time on being able to make sure that you don't have to go back and find the lead magnet link and do all the things. So now I'm going to click on save action. I need a subject. Sorry. All right. I have my subject. I'm going to click save. Now, from here, I would like for you to make sure you click save, go into the settings and select what the from name and the from email is going to be. So everything that comes out of this workflow will have the same name and the same email, and you don't have to set it every time you set up an email. So this would be mine. So this is what mine is. So once I have this, now any email that I put in here, it's going to send from that email. If there is any reason why you will have an email that will be sent from something other than that, you can put it in here, and only that particular email will deliver from that name and email that you put at this level. Otherwise, they will all be delivered from here. So now from there, we're going to save this as well. And then we're going to turn it on and then click save again. So now once we've published this, we're going to go back to our funnel and we're going to run the test. So you're going to click on back to workflows, go to sites on your left hand side, and what you're going to do is go back into your funnel page. And so once you go into your funnel page, you're going to click on that funnel page and select the preview for it. So once you select the preview for it, your page will pop up. And so if I click on give me more leads, now I could put my information in. Don't be trying to call this number because it's the business number. So you just gonna get a text back. I know y'all be trying to be slick. So now we have our form, and I'm gonna say get more leads now. All right, now what I want to show you, I'm going to click off of here, and I am going to go back into that automation. So I'm going to click on automations. I'm going to open my folder. You see now it's one enrolled in the automation. And if you wanted to look at further what steps, if you have multiple steps in here, you can click to open up and the on the workflow, and then you can click on status. So this tells me that this contact came in here at this time. It's at the current step, which is send email, and it's finished the workflow, and there's no next execution. And that is how you set up your lead magnet to deliver, creating a page, creating a form, and creating your workflow with the trigger to deliver it. My name is Jennifer J. You can catch me at the Premier VA on all channels. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel and turn on all notifications.